So guys, how you doing? It's Nick here with some raw day trading, and today I'm going to talk about the thing that I think most people miss at trading is that you're not supposed to go with the crowd. You're not supposed to do what's expected. You're not supposed to follow. You are not supposed to follow. Say it again. You are not supposed to follow. Um, the way it's set up, it's rigged in a certain way to make every little thing look like a crisis, to make it look like it's going in the opposite direction it's actually going in, and to make you buy and to make you sell multiple times, churning and churning and churning, and churning in the wrong places. Now, the way I trade, I kind of feather in and feather out. And I take a lot of trades only because I have a free commission broker. But it's not, and I take advantage of that, right? Schwab's kind of catching on. They're kicking traders off their platform because at the end of the day, if they're not sending the orders to the market, they're the one ultimately footing the bill, so to say, or their market maker is Citadel, for example. And so if they're like, I think this person's wrong, I'm going to make it look like this, I'm going to make it look like it's going down when really it's going up, and etc. I'm going to fill them high and then fill them low on the exit. And then they're still losing when traders are able to get around this. They're the ones footing the bill. And that's okay. You know, they're taking their risk. I'm sure on net they're very profitable. So basically, you have to look at who's paying your bills, where's the rub at. For example, the only reason why you're able to get away with one thing is because everybody else is doing something different, and the big boys are profiting off the people doing something different. If for example, the classic bull flag pattern, if that would work every single time, you know, it would just get front run until it didn't work, for example. But it only works in certain times, in very nuanced situations. And you have to understand the differences, like when to roll with it and when to not roll with it, and when to jump after a trade and when to not jump after a trade. And you have to have a higher meta level understanding of what's going on in the stock, and you're basically looking at what game is being played here. Where's the fake outs at? Why am I wrong? Like, where do I want to buy and why is that wrong? Or where do I want to buy and why is that right? You have to look at, you're here, right? Like, say this is me. I have to take a step back, look at myself here, and understand what's happening here, what the signals are trying to be communicated to, like, kind of this smaller, impulsive version of myself. So the signals are being communicated to the smaller, impulsive version of myself, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's going on here? What is the market trying to communicate? And where is the bullshit? That's what you're looking for. Show me where the bullshit is, and then show me an entry where I can get in with relatively low risk. Like, you're still going to take some L's here and there, but you can get in with relatively low risk, at least proportional to the amount that you have to gain. And then it's like, which signals are the signals that you should be looking at, right? Where should you be looking? Should you be looking at the level 2? Should you be looking at the chart? Well, I guarantee you the level 2 is gamed beyond belief at this point. The only reason I actually look at the level 2 is to make sure it doesn't look good. I want to make sure that level 2 does not look good. I want to make sure it looks indecisive. I want to make sure it looks confusing. Because the problem is, the second that it looks fantastic, the second that the level 2 looks really good, is the second that it goes down. At least in the stocks that I trade. Now, every stock is going to be different, but the way these things work now is that it's all a trap. And so you have to be getting in at the trap of somebody else. You have to be getting in when they're kind of setting it, when they're like trying to shake people out. but it's not really the time for that it's going to sell. Or conversely, on the other side, when they're trying to get people in, but it's not really going to go higher. And I say they, when I say they, I mean market makers. When I say they, I mean people who are able to rig the stock because they have immense size. Like they're able to sit on both the ask and the bid and kind of function to like manipulate the prices and the momentum to make it look like things are happening that aren't actually happening. Have you ever had it? If you're trading, you have had it where there's like orders going through on the tape, orders going through on the tape, orders going through on the tape. The price is moving up, moving up, moving up. And then the second you buy, it all just dies out. What is that, right? Is that coincidence? I doubt it. You know, depending on the broker that you're using, your orders go through in a certain fashion, right? So if I'm using a free commission broker, my orders are showing up on the tape in between the spread, right? It's showing up on the tape like on a certain route, and it's coming in a certain way, and maybe it's like split apart in multiple ways to kind of confuse the other market makers, right? Citadel, like they all have to report this stuff to the consolidated tape, but they can have like a 10-second delay, right? And so there's all this funny shit going on, and the more you watch and the more you understand, it's all kind of meant to fake you out. Do not listen. And this is not investment advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you, be careful. They will, it's almost like you have to understand where your peak frustration is and understand where other traders' peak frustration is, because that's when stuff actually moves, when people give up. So that's just a little bit of a rant today on some stuff. It's very relevant to now. Like, you're not meant to win at trading. Like, the way the market sees you, you are a hacker. You are a computer hacker. You're doing something that's almost illegal in their eyes. And their job, you're like a fish for them. Like, they want to eat you. They're a shark. They're like, oh, come on, get over here. Like, it's only legal. This, in their mind, is only legal if they're making money. It's only okay if they're making money. So you have to understand that you are not meant to make money in the market. You are meant to lose. Unless you want to lock your capital up with them for a long time and let them jiggle the market around, do whatever they want, and put it in the S&P, give it to Vanguard or give it to BlackRock or whatever. And then just be like, here, take my, economic vitality, take it, and you can do what you want. And I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to keep giving you my money and keep giving you my money until at one point, in the future that I die. And then you guys just keep taking your fees on basically zero risk. Like, you're not meant to win. So when you are winning, it's because you're doing something that everybody's not doing. Right? The majority of the people can't be doing it. And then when you have a strategy, and this is why the market's the living thing, when you are participating in a strategy, that thing becomes popular, right? That's when you really have to be looking at, where else can I go? How else can I, where else can I find edge in this situation? You're always looking at the edges and the patterns. You want to have a raw connection with that raw price action, like the current raw price action, and how the stock is actually moving, not how you think it should move, not how you think it, with the bear flag pattern, you buy it at the, immediately cross it. I can almost guarantee you that'll work maybe 1 in 10 times these days. 1 in 10 times. And then when it does work, are you getting filled at the right place? Probably not. Depending on your broker, you're probably getting filled much higher. And then, okay, what if it pops up and just flashes down, which it can kind of almost do? It's almost a bearish signal to get into a bull flag. Anyways, all that aside, not investment advice. Be very careful out there. And you really have to have an intimate understanding of the price action and how these market maker algorithms are working. You're always, and how they're responding to you too. Like, they respond to my orders, and I don't even trade large. Do you understand that? They respond to me, to my orders. Like, I'm trading with like 2,000 shares. Like, on a $1 stock, that's like, what's the dollar amount on that? That's like $2,000. Like, it's no money. It's not even real money. Like, it's not even real. Like, most traders have, big traders have like millions of dollars, and then so sometimes you have traders that trade like that, and then you can kind of see them get like pushed out, or you can see them getting in or getting out, like the more you watch the tape. But you'll start to notice there's a difference between natural trader action on the tape and computer action. And then the interplay between the two, the computer action and the natural action, will just look freaking wild. Anyways, I digress. That's a little video for today. I'm not even going to show any tape, but like, just think about that. You can't be doing what everybody else is doing. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. You got to think for yourself. You got to think through the price action, see where you can get in. Always be adapting and adjusting, not only in your career, but in the day. That's the main thing. That's what I've missed for a long, long time. Like, when I'm doing my best, I'm able to like read the play in the moment. And when I'm doing my worst, I have a template in my head. I have a template in my head of what I want the stock to do, not what it's actually showing, and not what the actual variables are. So keep that all in mind. Be safe out there. Again, this is not investment advice. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.